This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
This episode is brought to you by Harry's Shavers. Have a shave, Mason. You bitch.
Oh, what? Oh, no, wait. I do need a shave and I am a bitch. So, all right. We'll get to it later.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet, official podcast of comicbookmovie.com, where we talk movies, comics, TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
More like welcome to you back.
It is,
You're
yes.
back.
Didn't miss a beat, Mason. Mm-hmm. It's like...
Seamless.
Yeah. I did less mistakes now than I normally do. I know people know this. We did have an episode last week.
Yes.
Which was pre-recorded, but it was a good fun...
In front of a live studio audience.
That's correct,
though.
yes.
So,
Of my dog. Yes, but... Yeah, what was that on?
a lot of canned laughter.
A lot of canned laughter.
A lot
yeah.
of when I made out with Andy and Al, there was a woo, woo.
I enjoyed the Andy and Al episode.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the movie It, and I enjoyed your hot takes.
You've finally seen it.
I have finally seen it, yes. Yeah. There's a lot of things I missed overseas, Mason. I've been flittering about.
Yes.
I'll talk about it more in What to Be Reading.
Would you say you've been swanning about?
Yeah, I'd say swanning about. I did a
Gallivanting about?
Gallivant, yes.
Being a gadabout.
Being a gadabout.
Being a society pager.
Correct.
Okay.
All of those things. Yeah, because
Bless you.
I did a movie fight and some other stuff. I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
If people are interested.
Hey, here's something I'd like to talk about right off the bat.
I thought you were going to say off the air. Do you want me to pause this?
If you could stop. So enough people have mentioned this. Have mentioned this to us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Most recently, Juan Fernando. There is a company in the US called Hotwire.com, and
Yep.
apparently you can use them to get good deals on a hotel or something. This isn't an ad, by the way.
No.
This is not. This is a mad, if anything, because I'm mad about it. So a lot of people sent us a still from an ad.
Yeah.
And it's a man in a suit with a big beard
Martin Starr.
on a couch.
Yep.
Next to a goat.
Yes.
And the ad is about getting a good hotel deal, but
Don't worry about it.
well, that's the thing. So initially, I'm like, I saw this and I'm like, that's funny. That's a funny coincidence.
Yeah.
Because I'm depicted in the logo as a man in a suit with a beard.
Yeah.
And you're depicted as a goat.
Yes.
And I'm literally on a couch right now. I'm like, the coincidences keep adding up. So enough people mentioned it that eventually I just went, okay, well, I should check out this ad.
Sure, yeah.
And
I only checked it out after you went, you should check this
you
out.
should see this. But so the ad is, so yeah, it's Martin Starr,
Yeah.
who I feel is not known for either wearing a suit or having a beard, except for
No,
in
he always has a beard in, what's it called?
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, and Silicon Valley.
Okay,
But he's got
alright
more
then.
long hair in that, yeah. He's
Okay.
more disheveled. He's more like short t-shirt over long t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, sorry.
But I was going to say, like, I think maybe they're like, hey, Martin, can you put on this suit? No reason. Can you keep your beard? You keep your beard from Spider-Man Home? No reason. Just anyway, you're going to be dealing with this goat. Anyway, the point is that maybe there is no point. The point is that the whole premise of the ad is like, hey, book a hotel or don't, no pressure, do what you want, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of all our episodes, for the 1% of people who listen to any Planet Broadcasting podcast all the way to the end, at the end we go, hey, why don't you go to planetbcasting.com or don't,
Yeah.
no pressure.
Or some variation on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real sus, man.
Do you think it's not a coincidence? It's a lot of it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of. See, that's the thing. Like a friend of mine, a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Who? Well, I don't have any normal friends.
Sure.
I don't have any friends.
What
Listen,
about me? I'm normal.
you're normal-ish.
Thanks.
I checked your feet to see if you're wearing UGG boots, but you're not wearing. You are wearing.
I
UGG
am
boots.
wearing UGG boots.
They're
How
just different.
dare you?
They're black UGG boots. You
not.
tried to trick me.
They're dark blue.
Okay, right.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
My point is, he used to do a bit on stage that was about, like, when you're about to do something dumb or say something dumb, all of time appears to slow down because, and you sort of watch yourself doing it while being powerless to stop it.
Sure, yeah.
And one of the act outs in the bit is like, he suggests a woman's pregnant and she's not. And so he's like, are you pregnant? Or are you just fat? Like and it's very funny. But then somebody was like, hey, you should check out this ad. And it's just
His bit
It's
verbatim.
that bit.
Wow.
For like, I don't know, insurance or something, or healthcare
Sure.
or whatever. And now he can't do the bit.
Oh, because they'll be like, you took that from that ad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Fuck it
So what
out.
I'm saying is we have to cancel the podcast.
Oh,
now.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Can I change my avatar to a different animal? Can you shave your beard? Can we murder Martin Starr?
Yeah, see, that's...
Can we swap out the couches for a hammock?
No, you struck oil one suggestion ago with the murder of Martin Starr.
Okay, good.
So we'll do that and everything should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you did copy it, fuck you. If it's a coincidence, hey, that happens.
Yeah.
So take one of those options.
Yep.
How do you copyright something like that though? Anyway, you can't.
Exactly.
I guess.
That's right. And also, I was like, we should go. You just come from America. Let's go back to America and confront
Yeah.
them. But then I realized, look, well, I don't commonly wear a suit. I could do that. But you're not a goat man.
No.
So I'd be like, we'd show up at the Hotwire offices and we're like, hey,
Recognize us.
hey, remember us from the? And they're like, what do you even get out of here? Hey, it's the. Oh wait. Oh, we're just gonna go. Oh, we paid a lot for these flights. But we got a good deal on hotels.
Boy, did we.
Thanks to hotwire.com. Again, not an ad.
No, not
Not
an
an
ad. Speaking of not an ad, I guess.
Good segue. Here we go.
Sorry. By the way, it's 1:30 in the morning for me. That's a record. Not for you.
No.
Jet lag, Mason.
All right.
What has it been? It's been. We're well into this episode. We haven't started yet. There's a new Tomb Raider neck and trailer.
Yes, right.
What do you think of the new Tomb Raider poster? First
Well,
off?
look, I'll give you a comparison here.
Sure.
So this is Alicia Vikander with the Tomb Raider poster.
I see
She's
it.
looking good. This is 3030, the robot mechanical horse from the cartoon series Brave Star. Do you notice the similarity?
Oh my goodness, it's like looking into two mirrors. A picture, and next to it is a mirror, and that mirror is mirroring the picture. It's
Correct.
at an angle, so that's
Yeah.
how I'm seeing it.
What I'm saying is she's got a real crook neck in the poster.
What is going on there?
I don't know.
Somebody fixed it as well. Just shaved a bit off it, and it looks twisted.
Yeah.
It looks like in a horror movie where they find someone wedged in a cupboard and their neck is distorted. You know
It
what
looks
I mean?
like to me it looks like a real thick neck. Like she's really this is towards the end of the movie and she's had to do some acrobatics using her neck.
Right,
Like on some
yeah, I
vines
getcha.
or some tree trunks, for
Sure.
example. Yeah.
So you weren't impressed by the poster necessarily?
No. Trailer looks good though.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
No, look, I'm. It looks like the game.
It does
looks
though,
like
yeah.
that reboot game,
I
which isn't a
feel-
bad thing.
Because I did play the reboot game, but I don't really remember a lot.
really
of
good,
the-
yeah.
It is really good, but I don't really remember a lot of the lead up. Is this a different lead up? Because
Not really. They go to find a thing. They go in the worst part of the ocean.
But in the game, doesn't she go on the ship with her father?
No, father's already dead.
Already dead, okay,
yeah, he was
cool.
killed by
Okay.
a secret society or something. I bet he's not dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I
right.
guarantee you
because
he's
it's not some
dead.
no name. It's Dominic West
It's Dominic West, exactly.
from The Wire.
What always surprises me about movies like this is there's like that she finds his camera and it's like a flip camcorder.
Yeah, right.
To me, they're not that old, but I guess
Right.
they are. I guess they've been around for
Yeah,
quite
right.
a while now. Yeah.
Would you prefer that she finds his old gramophone?
Yes, that's
and he's
what
made some wax cylinder recordings on it, and she puts it on, and it's like, my darling Lara.
I made the call last
Lara,
year.
they're coming. I can't stay here much longer.
I made the call last year, the bold statement that either Warcraft or Assassin's Creed was going to break the mold of video game movies, and one of those would just knock it out of the park. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Assassin's Creed.
I didn't see it either.
Warcraft is. I didn't hate it, but it certainly didn't knock it out of the park.
I saw
for me.
a copy of Assassin's Creed at the supermarket.
Yeah?
And I thought, where am I going to find a DVD player these days? You know? I think I have one in a box somewhere.
Played on your gramophone.
Yeah.
But so I'm reluctant to say this looks amazing because it looks fine. It looks better than the last two.
You know what it looked? Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
The last two were... Yeah, look, all I'll say is, with regards to the last couple, is any movie with a couple of mechanical robot dogs is a big pile of garbage. That's what I will say. Yeah.
I think
Maybe that's
only-
foreshadowing for later on the episode.
yeah.
Potentially.
Oh wow, there you go.
But this new one, it looked like a great drama, like a great action drama.
It's got Walter Goggins.
It does, yeah, from The Shield.
Yes.
Oh, maybe Maybe Dominic West and Walton Goggins are going to come. It's going to be The Wire versus The Shield, the matchup I've always wanted.
Yeah, one's better than the other.
It's The Wire.
Probably. I haven't
The
seen
Wire, it's The
either.
Wire. Anyway, it looked like a pretty good like action drama up until the point she leaps off the ship.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, that's the video game. I'm filled with dread
in
now.
the video game, the ship is split in two and she's leaping across it. But here, just like looks like she's leaping into the ocean. I don't feel that's. You could just pin drop, I guess.
That's true.
Like, I don't
could,
feel like
you?
you need to take a jump, like, especially because the ship's not all the way down.
Yep.
You're not jumping at like a pit of snakes.
Yeah.
You're just jumping into water.
Yep.
I don't.
Maybe it's one of those ones where they haven't revealed the full danger in the trailer. They're
Right.
going to CGI in a big snapping crocodile.
Oh, that's okay then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But that's the point where I went, oh, it looked quite real up until that point.
Sure, yeah.
And then the CGI hit just at that moment, and I'm like, ooh.
It also looked a little bit Da Vinci Code. I've got a treasure box.
That's true, yeah.
It's a secret code. To unlock it, it's probably my father's nickname for me or some shit.
Sure.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, next thing.
My father's nickname, Rubik's Cube.
The Punisher had a trailer.
Yep. Oh, also, I was going to say, what do you think about Nick Frost's inclusion as this
Oh,
gun
he's
merchant?
the Chris Barry role from.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Who played
Do you
him.
think they've included him because we are all so very cynical about video game adaptations now? They're like, that'll give it some cred.
Absolutely, potentially, yeah. Anybody who plays a video game knows who Nick Frost is.
I agree.
Is that what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good.
He must have done a video game voice at this point.
Almost certainly, like a robot dog. Your
Probably a
favorite
robot
thing?
dog, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Punisher also got a trailer.
It did.
Looks really good. And maybe it's just the music. But I was
Right.
I was well on board. Was Metallica's one? Was that it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Darkness! Hey,
President,
President!
absolute darkness. Yep.
Yeah, so that...
Somebody at Disney had to sign off on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, all the lyrics were written out as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, you had to tick them off. No, what did you think though?
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah? You're skeptical though because
Because Marvel's trailers are often better than their TV properties.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not always for Inhumans. That was not the case.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
no, sorry, I'm so tired. What was I going to say? No, I think it looks better than the Defenders and Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like what they're going for. I like they're doing more family stuff, I guess, a little bit. But and there's going to be a conspiracy that's probably run by someone in a boardroom.
Yep.
I hope not, but
Let's see. Karen Page is in there.
yeah, good.
Was Claire Temple in there? They're going to shoehorn her
I don't
in
think
somehow.
she's in this one.
Okay, they'll find a way.
I don't know whether it's this one or the next one, but she's not. I can't remember. She's not in one of the upcoming ones, so this might
Okay.
be it. Yeah,
All right.
but probably.
No sign of a minigun, which is a little disappointing for
Do you
me.
think there'll be a minigun?
I think they're gonna. I think maybe it's gonna be one of those situations where you play a video game
Yeah.
and you stock up on all the missiles and the bombs and the grenades and all the heavy
'Cause you
weapons.
need 'em, yeah.
You need them, but then you never use them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you finish the game and you're like, I've got all these grenades and missiles.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the same. I think there's gonna be a lot of scenes where he's like, he looks over at their minigun and he's like, better save it for later. There might be an even bigger Russian dude coming out. So
Yeah,
I better,
that's right.
I'll just leave it. And then at the end, he's destroyed all the organized crime in New York, and he's like, oh, I could have used that.
God damn it!
Would have made things a lot easier, actually.
I got punched so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm really looking forward to it. There's no concrete release date. The rumor was October 13th, which is like a bit over 2 weeks away, but apparently that's
Really?
not,
That's quick.
no, it's not the case. Apparently
Okay,
it's like-
then.
it's more like mid-November-ish.
That's still pretty soon.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's done. It's weird they haven't announced the release date yet. I don't know
Hmm.
why they're kind of holding back on that. I mean, but hey, whatever. I'll watch it. I'll watch some of it. You know what? I'll watch 3, and if it's boring, I'll stop.
Is it a 13 again? 13
Yes,
episode run?
we're
Okay.
back. Great. Yeah.
alright.
But if it's good, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are good, no. Speaking of things that aren't good,
Here we go.
that's not a segue, is it?
No, the opposite is a segue.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
The Inhumans is maybe cancelled or it's not cancelled before it even airs.
Terrific.
What I forget is, after we did that episode, most people have not seen Inhumans because the actual episode has not aired yet.
Most people feel as though they've seen Inhumans, though,
Yes.
because our review of it was so evocative.
Such a hot take.
It was a very hot take.
Yeah.
That this bad show was bad, and they shouldn't
so
have.
bad.
Not even that it was bad, that it was. They decided on a marketing tack of we will force people to pay money to watch a bad thing
Yeah.
that we must know full well is bad.
Yes. Well, they knew because they cut the run short. It was
That's
supposed
true,
to
yeah.
be 2 weeks, and they went with 1. Yeah, it was. It's insanity that they put that on IMAX. It really is. I mean, it only created bad buzz as well. Nobody.
Who's fooled by IMAX? Who's like, yeah,
In this case, being on IMAX made it worse.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch this, if you want it to look good, watch it on a phone or a smartwatch.
Right.
Then you might. They could probably get away with it.
watch
That's
it
how
on
they
a
should have.
watch it on a gramophone.
Yeah, that's how they should have promoted it, though. You watch it on the smallest
Yeah,
screen
that's right.
imaginable.
Yeah.
Or just the sound on a gramophone. I think that would have the hype would have been better. But
We've gotten one of those street artists from Thailand to etch it on a grain of rice the entire episode. Just stare at it and imagine what it could be.
so one of the posters was promoting the series as the complete series, which led people to believe, oh, complete as in there will be only one and this is it, and then it's cancelled forever. But AB said that they've used that quote like that's an old poster, and
Okay, right.
that was always the case. That being said, it's definitely cancelled. Like, there's
Right.
no way they're going to make a second series
Yeah.
of this. What do you think? Do you think it's possible?
Well, see,
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel, started promising, and it kept enough of a fan base
yeah.
along the way, and it got better.
Yeah.
Probably.
No,
I
I have
stopped
to look. I'm not up to date on that.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I watched some subsequent episodes. It sort of fell into the toilet for me.
Right.
I rubbished it, but I am a manly enough man to admit that I have since watched some other episodes and they're actually pretty good.
Okay, there you go.
Except for those early ones, which aren't as good.
Sure.
But anyway, it had a chance to find its feet. But I feel that, and anyone who wants to know our more extended thoughts on this, you can go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah.
But it's, to me, the plot of this show has sort of painted all the characters. The first couple of episodes have sort of painted all the characters into a corner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had this thought on the show, but I've had it since. It's like the first 2 episodes, the setting was not dissimilar to like a young adult dystopian fiction like novel or
Yeah,
movie.
because you're put into a society, like you were in a category
Yeah,
and whatever.
but like
yeah.
it's the way it differs from like the Hunger Games is it's a series in which we're supposed to cheer for these uncaring elites who
Yeah.
live in luxury, and we're supposed to boo for the one guy who wants to get the downtrodden and
Yeah.
like release them from their oppression.
It'd be like if you cheer for Donald Sutherland in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or whoever was in charge of the maze running.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
But there's sort of no way to unpaint the characters from the corner.
No.
Because you can't have them go, oh, I didn't know we were making these people live in the mines or whatever.
Insane. It's
Madness.
an insane. I think I also said this in our review. The Inhumans is exactly why I don't full on hate as much stuff as I probably should, I
Right.
guess.
Uh-huh.
Like when like the bad Netflix episodes or movies, I'm like, on the Inhumans is what I save it for.
Sure,
Because
right.
the Inhumans reminds me that that there are worse stuff than a lot of stuff that we see. Like it's bottom rung.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
But apparently the Inhumans comics right now are the best they've ever been.
Well,
That's disappointing.
too bad.
Yeah, right.
You know, and this poses the question to me. Marvel have handled every character they've done so far well enough where they haven't really needed to reboot it, except for maybe Hulk, I guess, because it's sort of a light reboot. But The Incredible Hulk's not a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It's more of a recast. If they cancel this, are they just not going to do them ever? Is that it? These characters are gone? Because they are popular characters, and like you said, the comics
That's
are good
true,
at
yeah.
the moment. So
Uh-huh.
I feel DC are kind of leading towards Flashpoint, it looks like, so they can swap some stuff out.
Yeah.
Is there going to be like a Marvel version of that? Like if they want to bring them back?
I think if they want to bring them back, they will.
They're all Skrulls. There you go.
Exactly. Well, I think what they could do is they could just bring, like, if they wanted to bring them into, say, to the movies or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they bring in whichever the characters people like the most.
Yeah.
They recast whoever they need to recast, and then they kind of, like, scrub it all in one line. They're like, what are you guys? And they're like, we're the Inhuman royal family. We had some problems earlier. But
Slavery.
Now everything's fine. Just don't look.
That's Black Bolt.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen. I got some stuff to say, all right?
Yeah, it's bad. Here's something that might be good.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
It's bold. Taika Waititi is reportedly in talks to helm Akira,
Oh, that's right.
the live-action Akira.
Who was it? Who was going to be prior to this?
Jemai Collet-Serra, I want to say.
No, it was who directed Get Out? Was it Key or Peele?
One of those guys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, you mean as in recently?
Yes.
Yeah. It was one of those guys.
The
Jordan
two.
Peele, I want to say.
Okay, there you
yeah.
go. Great.
I might be wrong. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Okay, sounds good.
Does it sound good?
Yeah.
Or does it sound great?
Good.
Yeah. The thing about Taika Waititi is I love his films. I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet, so I don't know how he would go with it.
Well,
But
that's true.
It
yeah.
seems good. It seems like a film that I'm going to enjoy, but
Uh-huh.
we don't really know how he is at this kind of stuff yet.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But I think he seems like a solid choice. There is also that conversation of like, should they even adapt this because they just did Ghost in the Shell and was kind of whatever, and is it going to be a whitewashing situation? Because there was also a version, maybe the version I was talking about had, I think it was Chris Evans and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the leads.
And there was also talks of
Dane DeHaan, maybe?
there was also talks of Zac Efron. I think at one point was going to be Canada.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. All
Pretty
right.
good,
Yeah,
right?
look,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
he's very square, isn't
That's
he?
true. What if he Maori washes it?
He could marry Washington. Yeah.
And it's like set in Wellington, and it's just like it's like a real small scale one.
Yeah.
That'd
Have
be
you ever
nice,
seen
wouldn't it?
like late night in Australia? They often have like it's like Cops, but it's New Zealand.
That's right, and everybody's really friendly.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone gets tasered.
Yeah, like people are really drunk, but it's okay.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? Yeah.
They're like, off you go. They just give them a lift home.
yeah. But Mason, you've got a
Oh,
you've got a hot Ragnarok scoop. Oh no, you got something else?
Well, I was going to say a perfect segue
yeah.
into our favorite game on this podcast: hot scoop or a shot of poop. Now, for anybody who isn't aware of this game, what happens is
We need you to line up a scoop and a poop. in
one of
front
us.
you.
So one of us presents some exclusive news, some behind the scenes.
Yes.
a bit of something that we believe is maybe exclusive to this podcast. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. That's the scoop.
Yes.
And then, if eventually later it turns out that this isn't true, James has to do a shot of poop.
Wait, just to be, this is your scoop, by
Correct.
the way. So why?
Hey man, I don't make the rules, all right?
Yes, you do.
What?
You
Nah.
made this rule.
Oh, okay, I kind of did. Anyway,
Fine, I'll do it.
great.
For the
good.
podcast.
All right. So speaking of Thor
Can
Ragnarok,
I pick the poop?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good, terrific.
Small mercies.
Yeah.
So spoilers for this. I would say I would not want to know this.
Yeah. So a
Yeah.
friend of mine, who I won't
I'll
say.
time code it. So if you want to skip it,
Yeah,
go
good,
to the
good
description.
idea.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, who I won't say specifically where he works because I think they could probably track down.
Right. Marvel. Disney.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. He's Taika Waititi's best friend.
Oh.
Anyway, he told me that he's seen a significant portion of Thor Ragnarok.
Sure.
So this isn't a plot spoiler.
No.
But it is still it's a
cameo
It's a cameo
spoiler.
spoiler. But it also spoils the location. So if you don't know anything about Thor Ragnarok, I guess there's a lot of build up.
Sure.
Anyway, so he tells me that there's a scene. We're in
Yeah.
spoilers now.
Yes.
There's a scene set on Asgard in which we watch an Asgardian theatre production that essentially recounts the entirety of Thor 1.
It's
Like
very
as-
Shakespearean.
Like as a play.
Sure.
And in this theatre piece, the role of Loki is played by an Asgardian actor played by Matt Damon.
Twist.
What do you reckon about that?
I like it a lot.
Me too.
What I don't like about it
Yes.
is that does this rule out Matt Damon being in the MCU?
He kind of does.
Yeah.
But do you think as an actor he's done with...
Yeah, I don't think he would do it anyway. I guess.
like imagine being like, hey, Matt Damon, will you put on a weird rubber suit?
But also, you could bring him back and just
Yeah, that's
it's a
true.
different guy.
I mean,
That's
they have in the
fine.
past.
Yeah, exactly. There's a cop in Avengers who is a character in Agent Carter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like if that's true, Mason.
Yep.
Or if I have to eat the poo.
It's worth it, right?
Wait, what? No. So why would that be worth it?
I don't know.
So if it's not
Again,
true,
not my rules, all right?
I don't like this.
Yeah, well.
No, but I do. No, I think that's cool. I think it kind of reminds me of the. I think it would definitely. You know, the cameo that really caught me off guard.
Yes.
Was
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
How does he keep doing it?
No, was it Chris Evans in Thor Ragnarok? That was a real delight.
Thor
Not the
Ra-
Ragnarok, Thor the Dark World. That was a real delight.
Yeah,
I feel
right.
like this is that kind of
Cool.
level. Yeah, yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking of.
Sure.
Anyway, spoilers over.
yeah.
Harry Dean Stanton died.
Oh yeah. We
Who.
were predicting who was going to die.
Yeah,
I said
it's true.
Jared Leto. You said
I said no one's going to
Jared
die.
Butler. I think. I don't remember.
Didn't we say Katherine Heigl, Gerard Butler, murder-suicide pact?
That's exactly what was said.
I
yes.
think that's precisely, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, we're never going to make anything better than the ugly truth. Here we go. But yeah, so Harry Dean Stanton from Alien.
Yeah.
But he was also...
It was in the Avengers.
He was in the Avengers.
He was in a bunch of stuff. But
As
yeah.
the guy who gives Mark Ruffalo a new pair of pants.
Yes. Where did he get him?
I don't know.
Did he take his own pants off?
Maybe. Harry Dean Stanton was that kind of guy.
He would, wouldn't he?
Just a man wandering around without any pants on.
How old was? Do you know how old?
91.
He was? 91.
Yeah.
That guy looks great for 91.
Yeah, I know, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, not now.
No.
Wow, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Good on him. Yeah, he's been around the block. That bloke, like Twin Peaks, bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I did. So it would have been like 85 when the Avengers came out.
Yeah.
Or a bit older. Wow, good on him.
Mm-hmm.
What a guy.
Yeah.
It's just a picture of him here in Google Images. He's got a dart, and he looks 91. Wow, he's one of those guys who probably smoked a pack of cigarettes every day and
It's true.
lived to 91. Oh, there you go. Anyway, good innings.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, what's next? Joss Whedon apparently has cut Lex Luthor's scenes from Justice League as well as Iris West.
Okay.
Fine. I don't care.
Sure.
What do you think?
It'll always make me wonder if Lex Luthor and Iris West were on some sort of separate adventure.
A
Timon
joint
and
suicide pact?
Timon and Pumbaa style.
Okay, right, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think the Lex Luthor thing was probably a prison thing.
Yeah.
And
right.
Iris West is probably just at Barry Allen's work or something. Or no, they don't work together, do they?
No.
No, what is she? Is she a reporter? She's a reporter?
Yeah. Can't remember.
Can't remember. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd imagine there's been a lot of significant changes. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Since,
And look, they'll all be on the DVD, so
yeah.
it's fine.
Or none
Or
of
the
them.
extended cut.
Yeah, exactly. Or the extended cut. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'd love it if they just mashed together the Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder versions. Like, it doesn't even make sense. They just put every scene in.
Right.
Yeah. It contradicts.
Yeah,
I want to
that's
see
right.
it all. Yeah. No, they actually talked about box office for Justice League, and it's predicted to have a debut of 150 million weekend, which is great.
Thank you.
But that's less than Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
So, which isn't surprising, but 150 million is still. I think the budget might have blown out on this one though. So
Yeah, totally
who
right.
knows? We'll find out in November of this year.
Yes.
I don't know the date specifically. This is exciting, I think. The Watchmen pilot has officially been ordered. It's going to
Series? Pilot.
one. It's going to do one.
Gonna do one.
And then
they're
wait-
gonna Inhumans it and
Gonna-
see what happens.
Yeah. Damon Lindelof. He's the showrunner,
The Lost guy.
the Lost guy.
Right.
I like this though,
Uh-huh.
and I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Because The Leftovers is fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
And he was in charge of that. It wraps up really well. There's a bit of kind of like, what does it all mean? But it's done in the way that Lost did not.
Okay, great.
And also, the Watchmen kind of has a definitive ending. So you're building
That's
toward
true.
a certain
Well, for
event.
now.
Yeah, for now, yeah. And I do wonder if this is going to series, how many series are you doing? And are you going to be doing before Watchmen? What are we
interesting,
getting?
right?
What are we
Yeah.
getting from this? So what do you think?
That's also true. In also in the sense of like, are they going to do the entirety of the story of Watchmen in one season and then do side stuff?
Yeah.
Or are they going to drag the 12 issues of Watchmen over 4 years or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you think they'll start with, say, the comedian being
Yes.
murdered? Spoiler alert.
Yes.
And then they'll integrate the before Watchmen stuff into the narrative, or they'll start in the past and then work their way forward.
Oh,
Like, do you think they'll even start in the Golden Age and then go forward from then?
I hope not.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Just give us Watchmen.
But do you think that's a possibility though? That they do it chronologically and they just go way back. They go back to the 40s or whatever. And the pirate stuff. They do it all.
Oh no, I'm not sure how that would work because I don't think the historical stuff is that good.
I guess that's why it's only in bits
Snippets,
and pieces.
yeah.
In the, yeah,
Yeah.
no, fair enough. Yeah. I think
What if they did all the pirate stuff in the middle. Like they really got the plot rolling,
Yeah.
and then they're like, the kids out the front of the newsstand's like, I'm gonna read this pirate comic, and then it's 2 years of the
Just the pirate
the
stuff.
Black Freighter stuff. Yeah,
You know what, though? I was actually just thinking that it would really work well as a standalone episode.
yeah, right.
Just 1 week, just go, we're doing the pirate thing.
Yeah,
and they just do 60 minutes of just the pirate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that would be great?
Yeah,
You know,
that'd
like
be good.
seasons every now and then will do that. They'll just take an episode and just do something completely like Fargo did it recently.
Right.
Just completely different story that has nothing to do with anything else.
What if they did the pirate stuff and they intercut it with like the story of the kid?
Right, yeah, sure.
He's like, oh, I'm at home and where's my mum and dad? They're having a fight. Well, I'll keep reading my comic.
I want him to narrate it.
Yep.
And I just want the camera to be over his shoulder and that it's not animated. He's
Yep.
just flicking through pages.
He's licking his finger, he's turning it over.
And you just hear in the background, you son of a bitch, you
That'd be excellent. Yeah.
Oh, great.
And there's one issue where his mum throws all his comics out. and it's like the tale of the Black Freighter. And he's just like, hey mum, what did you... Oh, you threw them? Okay. Are they in the trash? Okay. And then he just there's 5 full minutes of him sifting through the bin. I'd watch that.
100%.
Yeah.
But no, are you looking forward to the Watchmen TV series?
Yes.
Me too. I'm on board. I mean, I liked the movie enough, but
I mean, granted, you just reminded me it was happening 2 minutes ago.
sure.
I'd
But
forgotten.
look how keen you are.
Yes.
You keen for this?
Depends
Actually,
what
kind
it
of
is.
am. That probably won't work. But
Sounds like something I'm not keen on.
Linda Hamilton will be back for Terminator 6, which could also be Terminator 3.
Oh, right.
Who knows?
Yeah, okay.
Did you hear this?
Yes.
So James Cameron's thinking was, you get a lot of these old action stars who are returning.
well, there's your first mistake, James Cameron's thinking.
You son of a bitch. Go back to bloody Avatar world, you bloody prick, you dumb
Nice.
prick. Get
Got
in your
him.
submarine, kill yourself. Sorry.
It's all right. You can cut that little snippet out. It's fine.
That was really unnecessary, and I apologize. So Linda Hamilton, because I was saying that all these old, action stars are coming back and they're
Yep.
reprising roles and they're still kicking goals. And so
Reprise and rolls, kicking goals.
you know it. And Linda Hamilton so his idea is that she'll do the same thing for Sarah Connor.
Okay.
I haven't seen Linda Hamilton in a movie. I'm sure she has been since Dante's Peak. So I don't know.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
know what she's doing, but I'm interested to see.
Just crunches, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in seeing her return than seeing Schwarzenegger return. Because I've seen Schwarzenegger do a bunch of stuff.
That's true,
But
yeah,
I haven't
you're
seen Linda Hamilton in like 20 years.
That's true,
So,
yeah.
and also the idea of an old grizzled Sarah Connor is also...
As opposed to a young grizzled Sarah
Yes,
Connor.
exactly. I think that could be really interesting. She is actually... But though she is in Terminator Salvation, she does a voiceover.
Oh, right, okay,
But
yeah.
that doesn't count for shit. But how do you feel about...
They could have just put that together from snippets of her talking.
Yes. They do. She just says old dialogue. It's, who cares? It's a shit film. But you're okay with wiping the Terminator continuity clean again? So we're getting
yes.
the real Terminator 3.
Okay, great. Yeah, all
Probably.
right. Okay. Unless it's bad, in which case just remember the first two again.
Yeah, exactly,
Just
yeah.
In case of emergency break glass, I have
Yeah.
that near, in my house, and I just bash the thing, and I get it. There's a little scroll, and it just says only Terminator 1 and 2 happened. And I go,
And then underneath, and maybe Sarah Connor Chronicles if you kind of care about it, which you don't.
I quite liked the stuff
alright.
that I saw.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's been 25 years of them trying to get the Terminator kind of going again.
Yeah.
This has to be it, right? If this doesn't work, this is
why
it,
why
right?
try again? Exactly, yeah. Who's left? Edward Furlong solo film?
Surely they're not going to bring back Edward Furlong.
No.
Yeah. I wonder, is it going to be set in the future war? Because if it wipes everything out, Sarah Connor could technically live to see and then fight in the Judgment Day and pass that
That's true,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, she'd have to be dead by the time that Kyle Reese goes back in time because he never met her. So it would have been, she would have to be dead years prior.
Or didn't he? And then we just cut to Sarah Connor. She's got the twirly mustache.
She, if I recall correctly, she died.
Hello, young man. It's a reverse Mrs. Doubtfire situation.
I don't like it.
No, I do.
But she died of cancer in 1997 in Terminator 3. So she
Right.
lived to see Judgment Day not happen.
Yes.
So that they're obviously going to retcon that.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, whatever, I guess. Let's go. We're doing this.
All right. We cannot stop it.
I think this is
Try and stop James Cameron doing anything.
I would
You
never.
can't. He's so rich.
so rich. Yeah, this is.
Take away his money, he'll fund it himself.
Yeah, he will. Yeah. Look, I'm really not interested in this, but this is the only piece of news where I'd go, okay, well, you got me just a little bit. I still don't think it's going to be good, but
Yep.
it's their last card.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Because they can't be like Edward Furlong. No, thank you.
I'm trying to think of what are any secondary or tertiary characters from the first two that they could base it.
Silverman. Well,
Yep.
he's in 3.
The
Yeah.
psychiatrist.
What about Lance Hendrickson as the cop who gets shot up in the base?
Yep.
Because I think they were going to bring him back for 2, and he was going to be in a wheelchair.
Okay,
that
right,
was the
all right.
idea. Yeah,
good. Okay,
Yeah.
that'll work. Security guard who gets skewered through the face.
Yep.
What was his day like before he got skewered through the face?
It was probably fine.
Yeah.
It was mostly skewer free.
You know what? It should be that he discovers he has a twin brother because that's how they did that special effect in the movie. That guy has a twin brother.
Yes. And Linda Hamilton
Has a
also has a
twin
twin
sister.
brother
Yeah, that's right.
who looked exactly like her. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
What,
I'm sure
she
we've
has
talked about that before, but actors who have a twin
Yeah. Who aren't actors?
who sometimes got into acting and sometimes didn't.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah.
Nicholas Brennan from Buffy, twin brother.
Oh, right. Is he ever in that as like an evil version?
There's a double scene. Yeah,
Great,
where
good. Yeah.
there's a
Well, I mean, you
couple
have to, don't you?
You-
You got to
yeah,
make use of
absolutely,
it.
yeah.
Otherwise, what are you doing? Great. Now we weren't present.
We
man.
were.
We were.
We're just saying weird syllables now. It's very late.
It's really not that late.
Yeah.
We,
Hey,
last,
do you know why the actor Edward Woodward has so many D's in his name?
why?
Because otherwise he'd be Ewa Woo. It's late. It's how late it is.
Where did you steal that from?
I don't know. I think my grandma told it to me or something.
You just ruined some comedian's best joke.
That's right.
So what do we got here? So last week we couldn't talk about this because it was a pre-recorded episode, but JJ Abrams is now back for Star Wars Episode 9. I did a lot of stuff when I was overseas talking about who was going to replace him. I was like, it's probably going to be Rian Johnson. That it's also the possibility that he's tired and doesn't want to do it. Turns out he doesn't want to do it because I think they offered it to him and he turned it down. So
Yep.
JJ Abrams is back on board. What do you think?
Yeah, fine. Here's the thing.
It's not an inspired choice, is it? But it's
No,
safe.
and it's solid.
It's solid, yeah.
And like Force Awakens was a solid film. And Force Awakens had to cover a lot of bases.
Yes.
In the sense that it had to be a sequel.
Rebel bases. Starkiller bases.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay, I was trying to think of a third base. But
Third base.
hello. Yeah, I mean, it had to be a sequel. It had to be a soft reboot.
Yep.
For the most part, I guess people can go in there without knowing anything about Star Wars and still get it.
I think so, yeah. There was the Jedi and then there's not
Yeah.
and whatever and find
Yeah.
a map. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think he did very well there.
It does rehash a lot of stuff,
Yes.
but there is a lot of new elements which does work. Not all
Yeah,
of it works.
yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's. I liked it when I came out of it, and,
Yeah.
I still like it.
Yeah.
But it's to me though going into that, I expected that that's what it was going to be.
Sure,
It was
but-
going to be the soft reboot.
And also
Yeah.
the peril of the biggest franchise in the world is if you go too far out of the wheelhouse, people are going to hate that too.
Yes.
So you kind of have to walk a fine line, and I think he did fine.
Yeah, especially the first one out of the gate.
Yeah.
My concern of this is though, his follow-up to Star Trek the reboot was Into Darkness, which is a bad rehash of Wrath of Khan.
Yes.
I think originality is not J.J. Abrams' strong suit, but also I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because, and I've said this before about him in a negative way, but he can mimic a director's style.
Sure.
He's capable of doing that. He knows what makes a franchise or a certain kind of genre work, and he's able to copy it. I mean,
you
look
can
at
single white female them.
yeah. I mean, look at Mission Impossible 3. It's not the best Mission Impossible film, but it's okay. It's pretty good. It's better than 2, you know, and it kind of, that series kept going because 3 was fine. You know what I mean? So I think my concern is that we're just going to get kind of more of kind of unoriginality and a bit of a kind of rehash, but also he's probably smart enough to know that he made that mistake before with Into Darkness, and he's going to try something a little bit out of the box. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for.
Also,
I'm hoping.
potentially, also he's been brought in, and they're just like, here's the script.
Yeah. Well,
Here's the special effects. Get
Look,
a good performance out of Mark Hamill.
look, we mostly finished it.
Yeah, it's kind of finished if we're honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, what we did is we randomly pressed up 100 new action figures and we put it through a machine, and here's the plot. Do not deviate it from it or you're fired, like Trevorrow. We'll fire anyone. No one's immune.
Yeah.
We're Disney. Just do what we
you're
say.
not Disney.
You're not Disney.
Yeah. Apparently, though, on the back of this, Paramount is very unhappy with JJ returning to Star Wars because they've apparently paid him for the past 10 or so years $10 million a year in overhead and development for projects that he was going to create.
Really?
The last film that he made for Paramount was Into Darkness in 2013.
Huh.
And then he went and did Star Wars. So the deal...
Nice work if you can get it. Bloody hell, mate.
The deal runs out in summer of 2018,
Okay.
which is a year and a half before Star Wars Episode 9 comes out, because now it's been pushed back to December from May. And apparently Paramount got $7 million from Disney for this deal, but that doesn't cover the $40 million they got to lose for the years that if these numbers are to be believed. So they didn't want to be pricks about it and be like, no, you can't do it, because you burn a bridge there.
You don't want a Henry Cavill mustache situation.
No, you certainly don't. And so they took it on. They've kind of taken it on faith that he'll do this, and then he'll do the right thing and kind of develop projects for them and come back and do some Paramount stuff. What do you reckon about all that?
I'm starting to think that movie executives have too much money and they're not very smart about what they do with it.
Yes. But this is apparently the last deal of its kind that's happened.
Oh, ever in the world.
Yeah, well, because the directors like this directors like, your JJ Abrams and your Christopher Nolans, I guess, they're kind of few and far between. Everybody's kind of work for hire now. You get someone on for a project, an indie director, you've talked about this, and then you fire them.
Exactly,
or
that's right.
Or at gunpoint, you force them to make.
You squeeze out whatever you can out of them.
Yeah. So I this deal doesn't exist anymore for anybody else, apparently. But I would be pissed off. Like, they're paying him this much money, and they got him on the back of him, being this. Like, they were talking about him being the next Spielberg or whatever, and he's going to rescue Paramount from whatever, and all these great projects are going to happen, but he just hasn't really done it. The last one he did not do very well. So,
man,
I don't know.
You're right. This might be the end of directors really doing anything.
Potentially. I mean, then again, that may all move to like Netflix or
That's
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah.
So big budget stuff like this, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Oh boy.
What are you going to do about it though?
Start my own movie production company.
Do you need some cash?
Yeah.
How much do you need?
$100? Is
$100.
that going to be enough?
We'll dip into the Patreon. We'll
Okay,
see.
cool,
see
great. All right.
What we could rustle up.
Mm-hmm.
Last bit of news. No, second last bit of news. Darth Vader might be in Han Solo. Apparently somebody saw him there.
Huh.
Just milling about.
Oh, yeah, great.
Why, I guess. I mean, I understand why, but maybe don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because if you put him in every film, then it doesn't mean anything.
It's true, yeah.
And then when he shows up in the Obi-Wan film potentially, then it's like, no, we saw him. We saw his burnt mask, and then we saw him in Rogue One. Then he was standing in the background of Han Solo, and then he turned up in Obi-Wan. Like, who cares?
That's true.
Yeah, no, I feel like you should use him sparingly, or not at all.
Exactly, use him sparingly. But I mean, but that's the thing. I think because he was so effective in Rogue One, people are like,
that's what people remember.
Do another one. Do it again. But then if you keep doing that, it loses its effectiveness.
Means nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who do you think he's going to murder? Anybody? He's going to kill a
Han Solo.
Oh no!
Twist. He gets replaced by a different Han Solo.
A different Han Solo. That's why he looks different.
Correct.
God.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last bit of news. This is the last bit of news.
Okay.
Matthew Vaughn, whose film we'll be talking about soon.
Yes.
He was. He confirmed that he has been in talks, kind of loosely, to direct the next Superman film.
Oh.
And he says, I think my main takeaway for mine would be it'd just be really boring. He thinks that Richard Donner did it really well at the time. Perfection, he said. And just doing the modern version. No, sorry. This quote is all over the shop.
He's bad at talking though, Matthew Vaughn.
Is he?
He's like, no, I don't know. I reckon Richard Donner is good, but
That's the way this quote is written, though. Mm-hmm. He says he wants to go back to the source material. Superman is color, feel good, and heroic. He's a beacon of light in the darkness, and that's what I think Superman should be. I agree with all of that. I don't love the just doing the Richard Donner thing again, because we did that with Superman Returns.
Yeah.
But hey, what do you think about any of that? Would you want him to direct Superman?
Did he direct the movie we're just about to talk about?
Yes.
Then no. He also said that he wants to take a crack at the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So
Sure, why not?
yeah,
Give it to literally anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mason, it's time for an ad. Hope you don't mind.
no, it's fine. I love ads.
Harry's Shavers. How many you got, Mason?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you define shaver, because I've only got the one
Handle.
handle, but I've got many blades.
Okay, sure. I don't know how you would. I don't know what that means in terms of numbers.
Okay, now here's a philosophical question.
Sure.
Let's say I use my delightful Harry's razor,
Yeah.
right, and then I replace the blades.
Yeah.
After many wonderful, beautiful shaves,
Crisp and cool
cool
shaves.
shaves, and then many years later I replace the handle. Is it the same razor?
No.
You're correct. It's not the same razor. It's not as difficult philosophical question as it could be.
No, it's really not.
Yeah.
You're talking about that scenario with the car, if you replace all the parts of a car.
Or the boat.
Or the boat.
Traditionally, it's a boat.
It's
yes.
a boat, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Or a spade.
No, it's not. Whatever
Okay.
the thing is you're replacing, no, it's different. Because you can assemble the...
Cop that, philosophers.
I'm just saying-
Cop that millennia worth of philosophers.
You're
You're wrong.
I get what they're saying, but if you found all the discarded parts and assembled it,
yeah.
then that's the original one, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, it wouldn't work because it'd be worn out. That's why you threw away the parts in the first place.
Take that, philosophers.
Yeah, that's right. Stick it up your ass.
Harry Shavers was started by two guys called Jeff and Andy, two ordinary guys who were fed up with paying for overpriced razors. So they started a razor company to do that. They own their own German
Not to
factory.
make overpriced razors.
No.
To make well-priced razors.
Well-priced, reasonable razors. They've got they bought their own German factory with over 100 years of blade making experience to ensure the highest quality, and you can actually get a free trial set, which is $13 worth of value for only $3.
Nice.
If you go to harrys.com/weeklyplanet. And that includes a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precision-engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave
That
gel.
trimmer blade's real good. Let me
I
tell
agree,
you.
it is.
If you got a mustache,
Yeah.
you want to keep it out of your mouth.
Your muzzle.
You keep it out of your muzzle. Just use that little trimmer blade down the bottom there.
I agree.
Real good.
When that goes wrong, it's like, oh no.
Isn't it though? Yeah.
I have to walk
Really
around
is,
with this, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And also a travel blade cover, which I actually used, because when I was like, when am I going to use this travel blade cover? I used it. It's
Good.
great. It
That's
works,
right.
yeah. So that's harrys.com/weeklyplanet. harrys.com/weeklyplanet.
Love it.
It
I
says-
went a week the other day. No shave. Got rid of that. Had a shave after that week.
Was it quite grave?
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
Feels real good.
Out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Wow.
That's right.
I thought you were going to say 11, but whatever.
Oh, man. I was gonna say 9, but then I'm like, this is a sponsor. I can't say it's a 9 out of 10 shave. It's absolutely a 10 out of 10 shave, but then I forgot. There's the imaginary 11 out of 10.
Correct.
Yeah. You know what? 15 out of 10 shave.
Whoa.
That's how good it was.
150%. Mm-hmm. Right, let's talk about Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle.
All right.
It's going to open about $40 million in the US, which is great for an R-rated film. The last one did 36.
Okay.
So that's good. It's not a
Okay.
massive improvement, but it is an improvement.
Yep.
Critically, not as well received as the first. It's
Uh-huh.
sitting on about 50% of Rotten Tomatoes. The reviews aren't necessarily scathing, but it's just kind of a lot of like, well, this is not as good and kind of weird in places. I think I agree with that.
Well, see, we spoke on the telephone.
Yes.
Was it yesterday or the day before? And you said, you just come off seeing
Yeah.
Kingsman, and you said, look, I thought it was okay, here's some things, but hey, you might like it. And I went and I saw Kingsman, and quite frankly, I'm insulted that you thought I might like it, because it's It sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the robot dogs?
It's a lot of things.
Okay, sure.
It's almost everything.
I want you to get into that, Mason.
Okay.
But you're getting ahead of yourself because you have to tell everybody what you think the story was.
All right, hang on. So Eggsy, he's a Kingsman man.
Yep.
He's a Kingsman man.
Kingsman man.
He's a spy,
Yep.
and then he's got to do a mission.
Yep. Because the world's
gonna end.
Because it's going to be...
What is revealed in the trailer ultimately? Not a lot, right?
There's a world-ending plot by Julianne Moore.
Yep,
I think that's about
right.
it. Yeah.
But it's not. He can't handle it on his own, so he's got to go find Statesman, who's the American version of Kingsman,
Correct.
and Colin Firth's back. It's
Yeah,
in the
that's
trailer.
also in the trailer, yeah.
Spoiler alert: he's back.
We'll talk about that more in spoilers because his manner of return is I did not like. But we'll talk about that a bit later. Great summation, Mason.
Thank you.
I'm joking. It sucked. It was no good.
What? Well, it's all this movie deserved, quite frankly.
Yeah, it was a disappointment to me. Yeah.
Well, look. Overall, I really liked the first one.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite movie in the world, but I thought it was fun and kind of hyper real,
Yes.
and surreal.
It's a Roger Moore Bond for the modern day.
Yeah, absolutely. And but with some modern day kung fu action, and
Yeah.
it was a bit silly and self aware and that
Yep.
sort of thing. And I think the opposite is true about this one.
Too many callbacks?
You know what? It felt to me there was a lot of talking to the audience like they're idiots who've never seen a movie before,
Yeah.
but a lot of talking to the audience as if they have memorized every single second of the previous Kingsman.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they talk about the dog a lot. and
Yeah,
things like
there's
that.
a lot of callbacks to all the very minor character
The
notes from
room
the first
filled
one.
with water.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember it, but I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Well, did you enjoy Eggsy as the super spy, the young James Bond kind of fella?
I mean, I
leaping
guess, but I mean, the flaw I feel to this movie is, well, you said when we spoke about it that you're kind of over the action, the kung fu kind of.
Well, the difference between this movie and the last one is there was variation in the action sequences.
Uh-huh.
This one does that snap zoom in and out. Colin Firth is killing everybody in the church.
Uh-huh.
They do that for every action sequence.
Yes.
My favorite action sequence from that last movie is the fight between him and the blade legs woman at the end.
Yeah, right.
Because it's shot like more traditionally than the church scene, but it's just really good. It's a really
Okay.
good version.
Well, here's the thing
yeah.
that I was going to say about this kind of snap action kind of hyper real kind of thing. I feel was the only part of this movie that I enjoyed. I'm
Oh.
not sick of it. I quite liked
Right.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I hated everything else about this movie. I hated like Taron Egerton's probably good as Eggsy,
Yeah.
given what he had, but all his dialogue was terrible.
Right.
All everyone's dialogue was terrible.
Right.
Everything was expository. Everything was dumb. All the CGI is bad.
The CGI is really bad.
Yeah.
Like glaringly bad. It doesn't feel like a real world at all.
At any point.
But the last one, there is that hyper reality, but the last one didn't. I don't remember it looking as bad as this one looked.
That's the thing, because I went into this movie and I'm like, now remember, going to be a little hyper real. Everything's going to be, move fast. Everybody's going to do kung fu faster than anybody
Yeah.
can do kung fu. So I'll remember this is going to be a little surreal and I'll just roll with it. But then I'm like, it's not surreal enough. It's not surreal enough to just.
It's not Kung Fu Hustle.
It's not kung fu, but it's not surreal enough that I can just be like, well, I'll just drink in these visuals. But it's also not real enough that I care about anything in it.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah.
it's not real enough that any of it feels like solid hits or.
I hate to say this. It feels a bit Die Another Day in parts.
Yeah, right.
And I don't like saying that. I just mean in terms of some special effects.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
okay.
it's obviously a better film than Die Another Day. That
Sure.
movie is atrocious. But yeah, there's one scene that sticks out in my mind is, and it's a minor spoiler, but they're stacking up people in cages.
Yep.
And it just looks terrible. Like, because
Yeah.
they're like 10, 20 stories high, just people in cages stacked on top of each other. It just bad green screen and bad. It reminded me also of that shell game from
The A-Team.
the A-Team. It was a bit like that. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's stars galore.
Yes.
They're in it for 2 minutes. All the stars are in it for 2 minutes.
Not one of them. One of them's in it a lot, and there's too much of him. Colin Firth returns. We'll talk about that more in spoilers, but I think it takes away from what the events of the last film and how Eggsy kind of grows as a person by bringing him back, I feel.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Highlander 2 situation where it's like, oh, Sean Connery's back,
And he's back with magic.
he's back with
In fact, the return of Colin Firth in this kind of ruins the stakes of the movie in its entirety, I would feel.
I don't disagree with that, but maybe we'll hold off on that.
Let's hold off on it.
Statesman. They
Yes.
go to America.
Uh-huh.
They go to a whiskey factory.
Yes.
It's secretly a statesman factory. It's what they're
They're
building
making some
in
statesmen,
there.
yep. Uh-huh.
Led by Jeff Bridges, Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, and the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
What did you think of those guys?
Garbage.
In what way? Clothes?
No, that's fine, but I mean, I was hoping for some team up Eggsy and Tatum's.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Do you think they're saving that for the sequel?
Yeah, I don't want there to be a sequel. But
Wow, you've really... So you don't think they could bring this back in the next one?
I think they
the
probably
Bond
could,
films
yeah.
are up and down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of... I feel the trailer set up, they're going to, it's going to be classic superhero team up. They're going to punch for a bit, then they're going to be mates, and then they're going to team up and fight the bad guy, but they don't.
Right, okay, yeah.
Spoilers, they don't.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum's in this very briefly.
Yeah. But also, quite a lot initially.
Yeah, I guess.
And then they really just kind of shuffle him off.
Yep. Uh-huh.
It's
Yep.
very strange.
So that's
yeah.
bad?
Yeah.
What else is bad in this movie?
Like I said, action sequences.
Julianne Moore's motivations as a villain are bad.
I did not care for that at all. Especially on the back. Like, I thought Samuel L. Jackson took a really annoying character that you wouldn't think would work and made it work. I don't know. I think it's more the writing in this case.
Yeah,
But Julianne Moore's character is no good in this at all. I don't believe her motivations. Her plan is also really stupid.
Yep.
She's got this amazing organization which earns her billions of dollars annually, but she just wants to be known. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a weird condemnation of, like, we'll talk about it in spoilers.
sure.
What else is bad in this? Also, she's not even... There's also another bad guy of sorts in this.
Yes, there is. Yep, right.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that reveal. Thought it didn't make any sense. Do you want to just get into spoilers?
Let's get into spoilers.
Yeah,
Anyway, worst movie ever. Yeah. I was
I'm on
hoping...
the
Look,
fence.
I didn't... I wasn't... It's not like my expectations were super high and they were dashed.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to be a sequel. It's going to be probably as good as the first one. Maybe not slightly worse than the first one. It's real bad in my opinion.
So do you think it's the same way that Kick-Ass... Because I know you hate Kick-Ass
That's
too.
what I thought about it. I'm like,
okay,
this is
yeah.
Kick-Ass. Maybe it is all in the writing.
Right, yeah.
Maybe this Mark Miller knows a thing or two about a thing or two as far as writing a story.
Sure, yeah.
Did he write this one?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I
right.
don't think you wrote the first one, though.
Oh.
I wrote the comic.
Yes.
But yeah. Are you talking about comics? Because there is a Kick-Ass 2 comic.
Yes.
I don't... Anyway.
It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Talking about scripts or comics? What are we
Scripts,
talking about?
I think I'm talking about scripts.
Okay, cool.
I'm thinking... my feeling is that Kick-Ass 1 and Kingsman 1 at least were based on... He's the original property and he's had time to come up with something good and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then it's been translated over. And then they're like, okay, this has been successful. Knock out another one real quick. And he's, all right, somebody's,
Well, it's only been, a bit over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. Man. Anyway, spoilers.
Okay. Spoiler number 1. Statesman has found a cure for gunshot wounds through the head.
Right through the head.
Right all the way through.
I thought
And in fact, you can recover from a gunshot wound in it's seemingly a matter of hours.
with no mark?
And no repercussions. Yeah.
Strange.
Isn't it though?
Okay, so for those people who haven't seen it, the way that Colin Firth is brought back, because he is shot right through the head. We see a scan of his head.
Yeah.
And he's
the,
shot.
The mystery has been from the unnecessary trailer reveal that he's back.
Matthew Vaughn hated that, by the way.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Sorry, go on, yeah.
Yeah, well. Maybe you should have bloody... I don't know. Anyway.
Something else.
Something else.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Statesman flew in.
Samuel L. Jackson shot him in the head.
they didn't. We didn't see this in the last movie, but the statesmen were there like immediately. They put this kind of ice pack around his head,
gauze around his head, yeah.
which
stabilized
contains the wound, and it's stable. And then through nanotechnology, they rewire his brain, even though it's got a big old hole through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the repercussion of that is that you revert back to a younger version of yourself. But then if a tragic thing happens to you, you remember everything and you're fine. Except your kung fu is not as good straight away.
Yeah, but then it is. Then it is.
So I thought his glasses could have been bulletproof. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
right.
could have been a hologram.
Yep.
It could have been a clone. Not a clone. That's bad. But it could have been like an impersonator.
Yep.
It could have been an android.
Could have been a rock salt bullet.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
He could still lose his memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think, really?
It could have been, and I thought maybe, because if you remember correctly, Samuel L. Jackson's character hates violence and the sight of blood.
Yeah.
It could very well have been like he missed.
Yes.
Like he missed by an inch, and Colin Firth is so good at playing dead that he didn't notice or something.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely,
know.
yeah.
Anything would have worked better
Anything
than
would
this.
have worked better. So another character in this, the guy from Game of Thrones, Whiskey, gets shot in the head point blank.
Yep.
Point blank by Colin Firth, which I think was a questionable decision. Even though Eggsy
yeah.
calls him on it, he never actually states why because he's a traitor, that guy, by the way.
Yeah.
But he never clarifies why he thinks that.
They don't even
It
interact
seems like a
that
hunch.
much.
No.
Yeah.
Because he broke the vial that was gonna drugs.
Yeah, right.
I'm so tired. I gotta.
But I think he was on the verge of shooting him before that.
It seemed that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a matter of hours, like you said, he's picked up by the statesman, by Halle Berry. They put the pack around his head. They stitch his brain back together, and he's up. And they show him a picture of his girlfriend who died from crack addicts, and then he remembers everything, and then he goes to stop Eggsy and Colin Firth.
Uh-huh.
There's not a mark on him. Did he wing him like on the side of the head? Did it go through his brain?
I don't know.
He didn't have a scar, or I don't understand.
Maybe just scared him.
Scared him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Scared him into having a big hole in his head.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I didn't even, like the twist of him being. I thought it was going to end up that he was working for Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
But he had two motivations.
Oh, now I think about it, there's actually 3 villains. Because there's also the president.
Who were you thinking of before?
The president.
Okay, right. So I was thinking of him.
Okay, right.
Right. So So the reason he wants, so basically Julianne Moore, she controls all the drugs in the world. She's put a toxin in it where if you've taken any kind of illegal substance, then you're going to die in a matter of days.
Yeah.
But she's also manufactured the cure, so then she's going to hold the world to ransom, and then the president has to make all drugs legal so she can become a legitimate businesswoman, and then she'll release the cure. He is okay with that, like hundreds of millions of people dying, because he has the stock in Kingsman Statesman alcohol will go up. So I guess he has shares in the company,
Right.
presumably, and also his girlfriend was killed by a crack addict. Do you need both of those things?
No.
It could have just been the crack addict thing.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know
probably, yeah.
why he was like, I've
Yeah.
got... what are you talking about? Like, you got a stake in the company.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not explaining this very well.
No, I know you've explained it perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't... I don't understand Julianne Moore's entire... Like, that's what you want to be famous?
Yeah.
No. Real bad.
She's the
And
most...
earlier on, Halle Berry's like, why would a drug cartel poison all our...
All the drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
question.
Really good question.
Yeah, because if the president doesn't sign off on the thing that makes drugs legal, then all her customers are dead.
Yeah.
So that's like Apple making their iPhones electrocute you.
And also, it'd be really difficult to then hook new people on drugs because children would have a very effective, what do you call it? A bloody...
Anti-drug message?
anti-drug message.
Yeah.
I remember when hundreds of millions of people died.
Just drop dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe don't do drugs.
So the reason Channing Tatum disappears in this movie is because he took some drugs.
Yes.
They're wacky tobacco potentially,
yeah.
or straight up crack. We don't know.
No.
And so they have to put him on
Probably
ice.
shelved something.
Yeah. So he's in it quite a bit, and you think it's going to be an adventure of Channing Tatum and Eggsy.
Yep.
And then they just replace him with the guy from Game of Thrones inexplicably.
Yeah.
I think that character should have been one character.
Yes.
Or at least
or half a character.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal was with that. I mean, I like the laser lasso.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
I thought he had too many weapons, quite frankly.
he had guns
And a laser lasso.
They've all got too many weapons. That's what it is, man. Gadgets.
I guess that's true.
Do you think there was enough new gadgets?
No.
So too many weapons, but not enough new gadgets.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Bowler hats. Doesn't Channing Tatum look dumb in a bowler hat?
Boy, does he.
God, that does not suit him
I
at
thought
all.
that guy could wear anything, but apparently not. Bowler hat harder than you'd think. What else is bad in this
It
movie?
looked tiny on his. It
Yeah.
looked like a thimble.
That's true.
On his big old head.
Also, what I thought was weird about this movie is, first of all, it has like the message is like, why are drugs illegal, but alcohol is legal?
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that right? Doesn't matter.
What I'd get what you
You
mean.
get the,
I'm sure people understand. Yeah.
But then afterwards, it's like, well, I guess we'll just stick to drinking.
yeah.
Still as bad.
Still as bad. Well, there was a lot of product placement in this for Kingsman specific products.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
do you remember the
Statesman whiskey is real
the
now.
aftershave bit
Yeah.
where he's like, he had tried this Statesman aftershave and he's like, I'm already wearing it.
Yeah.
What?
Oh boy.
Like because it's not tongue in cheek enough. It was just, it's so kind of casual. If it was kind of a bit of a wink and a nudge, but it's not. It's just like a weird out of place conversation. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
I am okay with product placement. I think James Bond generally does it really well. This was not a good example of that at all. This is like, it's like Michael Bay cracking a bloody Bud Light or whatever in Transformers.
What else is bad about this movie? Almost anything. Let me think.
Okay, Elton John.
Yes.
So Elton John is kidnapped by Julianne Moore and made to play his hit songs, and he's in a bird costume or whatever for the entirety of the movie. He's in it way too much.
Yep.
Like the initial joke is that she's like, Elton John, play Rocket Man or whatever, and he's like, fuck you. But then that keeps happening. It happens like 10 times, and then at the end he has a kung fu moment. Which
he
makes
really does,
no
yeah.
sense to
Which
me.
felt to me like Princess Fiona in Shrek. You know, when she's got kung fu powers all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I think there was way too. Like, there should have been minimal Elton John, or it should have been different celebrities, like
Yeah.
it is in the original Kingsman
Does
comic.
that just mean that Elton John is cheaper to hire than Channing Tatum now?
I guess he is.
Yeah.
They probably had about the same amount of screen time though. I mean,
Yeah.
Elton John's probably not in this as much as I think he is.
It seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Do you feel like having Colin Firth return? It's very similar to also Men in Black 2 with the return of Tommy Lee Jones's character. That makes more sense, obviously, because he
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
shot through the head. But it derails the point of the character Eggsy and what he learnt from the previous
Yeah, it
films.
really does, yeah.
Yeah. And he's kind of carrying on the legacy of Colin Firth's character. He's doing it all in his honor.
Yep.
But now he's just back, and they're both called Galahad.
Yeah.
But they didn't
Wasn't
fix
one
that.
of them Lancelot?
Yeah, I guess so.
Look, it doesn't matter. Also, Roxy dies,
Yeah.
but Mark Strong doesn't die,
But then he does die.
and he does die.
That was a stupid death.
Yeah,
Because,
really.
okay, Mark Strong dies after he goes, finally, I get to be a Kingsman. He puts on a suit and he goes out there, and then he steps on a landmine.
Immediately.
Sorry, Eggsy steps on a landmine, and then he switches places with him. And he has a sing-song before he dies.
Yeah.
And it's kind of supposed to be, I guess, heroic and funny, but I didn't feel anything.
No.
And I like Mark Strong's character. I liked him a lot in the first one,
Yeah.
but...
Also, he only kills like a half a dozen guys.
Yeah.
And I feel very strongly that Eggsy and Colin Firth could have just killed those guys and then figured out a way to get him off the landmine.
Yes.
Or maybe found more of that freezy spray.
Yeah.
and
Put a
maybe
rock on it.
Put a rock, put one of the bad guys on it.
Yep.
Just leapt away the first time.
Yep.
They could have done that.
Well, if they'd have leapt away the first time, they still could have fought their way in.
Yeah.
Because they did it very
They
easily.
were leapy, they're all leapy kung fu guys.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have just jumped off it?
They can all do that Black Widow spin around a person's head and
Exactly.
break their neck thing.
Yeah.
What I did like about this, I
Yes.
should talk about stuff that I like, because I did like some things.
Uh-huh.
Like Eggsy and Colin Firth, they are cold-blooded killers.
It's true.
They poison Julianne Moore with tainted heroin, and
Yep.
they just watch her die.
Yep.
They throw a man directly into a meat grinder.
That's true.
Head first.
Yep.
There's other moments. Colin Firth shoots that guy point blank.
Yep.
I like that they're callous in that way. They're secret agents, but
Yep.
they're not kind of remorseful about killing.
Eggsy will finger a rando at a music
That
festival.
was so weird.
Yeah, right?
I didn't like that at all.
Unnecessary too.
Yeah.
It's like if you in the first one there was like a seduction competition or whatever.
Yeah. And it was kind of, but it was also displayed as being creepy and kind of like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was.
Because in the original comic books, I don't think it is I mean, it is creepy, but it's not.
It's a skill that they learn.
Yeah, it's not depicted as it should be depicted as creepy. But I think only the first movie was like, hey, listen, this is no good. But
they twist it on its head because the seduction competition is actually you're getting tied to a train track.
Yeah, right.
So it's not an actual seduction.
Yeah, but in the comic book, I think it is.
Right, yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why is Eggsy wearing his stupid flat brim cap and his stupid clothes when he's
What, at the music festival?
no, when he's just hanging out with his mates or whatever. Like,
because they don't know he's in Kingsman.
oh yeah, I guess you're okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
But anyway, that's him.
Anyway, I hate that look. I think it's a terrible look.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that scene is no. Why we didn't need it? I felt they were like, well, we did it in the last one, and that was pretty fun. So let's do it again.
Yeah.
But much worse.
Can't just put a tracker on someone.
Just put a tracker on her.
Give her a diamond necklace.
Dude, use the watch thing that you can shoot a dart into somebody. Except it's a tracker. Come on.
Just put your finger up her nose.
I thought it was. See, that's the thing.
That's what I thought he was gonna do.
I thought he was gonna stick his finger in her mouth or something.
Right.
Like that's the joke, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is what I like. I like a bit of finger in the mouth action or whatever." But no,
He followed through.
he sure did.
I mean, he didn't have sex with her.
It's true. What a hero.
I liked the return of the guy who didn't make it in Kingsman.
Me too.
With the robot
I thought
arm.
that was good. That
with the
showed a
grappling
lot of
hook
promise.
arm.
I should have said that in not spoilers. That
Yeah.
actually had a lot of promise to it.
He was
I think.
good. I thought that was a good inclusion. I love a robot arm.
Same.
Yeah. I still think, and I actually made a video on this, I'll link it below. I think Kingsman's going to change James Bond for the better.
Really?
I think the next time around when they reboot it, they're going to
gonna be sillier?
They're going to do more, not necessarily silly, but they're going to do more kind of gadgets and fun and
Yeah.
I think it'll still be the kind of the killer, but I think they're going to take it back.
But I think that was on the cards anyway.
You're probably right.
I think
yeah.
Skyfall and Spectre definitely.
I think it's also it's on the cards because Kingsman came out and then Spectre came out.
That's
and people
true,
were
you're
like,
right. Okay, you're
we
right.
hate Spectre.
Yeah.
Spectre's fine.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. What else, Mason? Do you like the CGI robot dogs?
No, they were bad.
Did you like the tattoo where you just get a gold circle?
No, I didn't like that.
I
I didn't like. Let's see, what else didn't I like? I didn't like the weird diner landscape she lived in.
liked
Feeling
that.
more-
I like
okay.
that. Yeah.
All right.
I don't understand why she had to live out there.
I didn't. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. You're making billions of dollars in your drug trade, and no one knows who you are.
You can
just
live
go
anywhere.
and live your life, you idiot.
Also, you could just be the front of another company. Just buy Apple, and
Yeah,
then just be
totally.
the head of Apple
Yeah.
if you want to be known.
Did you like the part where she was like, I don't trust people. I only trust robots. That's why I have 3 robots and 100 henchmen. She's like, that bit? It was pretty good, wasn't
She
it?
trusted the guy who had a robot arm
It's true.
because he's part
101
robot.
henchmen there.
And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The president
The more I
was
talk
like,
about
I'll
this,
kill everybody.
the more I talk about this, the more I'm like, oh no, I think I'd like this less than I initially.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You've turned me around, Mason.
Good. That's my only goal here.
I got some tweets here though from people.
Oh, yeah.
You can still say more stuff, Mason. Don't let me stop you. But
Okay.
I thought they're actually very positive.
Oh, there you go.
John
Yeah,
Gear,
the emails were more positive as well.
John Gear says, just saw Kingsman 2 is the best Bond movie in a decade. When did Casino Royale come out? 2006, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Kingsman 1 was better.
Me too.
Saw Kingsman, this is from Queen Molly. Saw Kingsman yesterday, wasn't perfect, but really fun. Now can we please let James Bond die already? Not yet. He has to do one more. Billy R says, just saw Kingsman The Golden Circle, really great movie all around, best movie ever. Dara Eaton says, saw Kingsman, seems Vaughn's as that guy in class who's really nice till he's with his dickhead mates. Still best movie ever. And Riordan Davis, whatever your name is. Kingsman 2 is bombastic, hilarious, and works much in the same way that 22 Jump Street worked. There you go. So, yeah, I think the feedback generally has been really positive. We might be in the minority on this.
Well, I hope we've changed all your minds for the worse. That's not true.
Like what you like and that's fine, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else to say, Mason?
I'm sure I'll think of some other stuff. I think next week you'll be like, welcome to the Weekly Planet. Here's Nick Mason. I'll be like, here's another thing about
Let me
Kingsman.
tell you about bloody
Kingsman, you
think about a
sons
thing
of-
or two.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate you.
So you don't want Kingsman 3?
No, I wouldn't mind Kingsman 3.
I want Kingsman 3. This hasn't...
Yeah.
I think someone also asked if it's shaken my faith in Matthew Vaughn as a director.
Yes.
Nah, not
For
really.
me, yes.
I think you have to do more than one kind of mediocre film for that to kind of... I mean, name a director who hasn't made a bad film, Mason.
I can't.
Good work.
Thank you.
People will probably say Kubrick, I guess.
Disagree.
Which is his bad one?
I don't really like that many Kubrick films.
201 Space Odysseys?
201 Space of Men's, yes. It's a bad one. That is a boring film.
Great. We know what it's time for. I hope you know what it's time for.
What are we reading?
What are we going to read?
Yeah, here we go. Put a theme in.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today?
Good.
I feel like I just mumbled my way through that. Like it wasn't very coherent or interesting. But I'm sure you did very well.
The entire episode is what you're saying.
Just up to this point.
You know, what can you do? I still haven't watched The Tick. I should do that this
I
week.
gotta watch The Tick.
Yeah. You know why we haven't watched it is because it's slightly more inconvenient.
What's
than
it
watching
on?
It's on Amazon Prime Video.
Do we even
whatever.
have that here?
No, we do, but I'd have to sign up for another thing.
Ah, man.
Yeah, right?
Well, I haven't watched it because I've been in the US of A, Mason.
Oh.
I've been-
Well, you could have. They've got Amazon Video on every corner in the US.
That's true. At one point, I turned on regular TV because I was staying in an Airbnb. I didn't have Netflix, and it's just like 1,000 channels, and I'm just like, no, I'm not.
Didn't even go through the first 10?
Nah.
Wow.
I think I went through 3. And it's just, I think they were all shopping.
Oh, here's something I hated about Kingsman. It's
Here
not
we
a
go.
spoiler.
Not a
But
spoiler?
I hated it. Their attempt to pretend Fox News is a legitimate news service. I hated that. How dare you? I actually had this thought earlier
It
in
is
the
a
week.
Fox movie.
I was going to say I had this thought earlier in the week. I should probably stop watching Fox things because Fox is the worst. And then I'm like, oh, Kingsman, it's a Fox. Okay, right. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. Fox News is a cancer on society. It's the
Yeah.
worst thing for anything.
It's not a great representation of current events and facts.
It's the absolute worst.
But I would also argue that a lot of other news stations are maybe not equally bad.
Nothing's as bad.
There's a lot of misinformation out there, Mason, and I don't care for it, quite frankly.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so when overseas, Mason, I went on movie fights.
Oh, yes?
I went on Jedi Council. I went on Millennial Falcon. I went on Screen Junkies News. Those are the things I did. I'll link those below. People wanted to know, like, behind the scenes of movie fights. Do you want me to
Yeah, go
talk
for it.
about that for a little bit?
Sure.
So basically, they're all really nice people, by the way. Everybody that I met was super nice, like the crew over there. I'll name them all, Mason, but
Okay.
I'll forget somebody, so I'll choose to name none.
Nice.
I'll do it. Andy, Dan, Spencer, Roth, Jenny, Max, JTT. I've forgotten somebody, haven't I, Mason?
You can always add it in post.
I won't.
Okay. He added them all in post. He didn't say anything. He just sat there for 30 seconds.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I think I enjoyed. So what they do, they email the questions before, and they're like, these are the
Yep.
questions, and then I actually asked you for some.
We workshopped them.
We workshopped a couple, yeah.
beforehand.
I regret going for, what was it, the silent film one. It was like, what movie's better with the sound off?
Oh, yes.
And we decided on, well, you floated the idea of, what was it? Children of Men, because it's got that awesome twist.
Uh-huh.
And I should have just said Mad Max in hindsight.
Sure, yeah,
that was
yeah.
my first thought, but I'm like, nah, Children of Men's interesting. And then as I'm arguing, I'm like, oh no, I've gone down the wrong road here. But hey, that's all right. But basically, they email the question, so you know what the other people are gonna say, except for the speed round.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you're supposed to take notes, and then I didn't turn up with any notes, and then I'm like,
Oh,
oh
really?
shit, so I'm
Okay.
I'm in trouble here. But then I think
It's hardly a fight. Who goes to a fight with some notes?
that's right, yeah.
You tell them.
Left kick, right kick.
Mm-hmm.
But no, what I really enjoyed about it, I just got to just spin my wheels. And I think that's
great.
That's if I had a list of notes, I don't think I would have been as coherent. I think that's my favorite thing is when I'm just say a thing and I'm like, right,
You know what you need to do? Chuck that laptop in the bin.
it's this one?
Yeah, it's
But
bin
I need
night,
it for, I also need it for editing.
No.
Yeah.
It's a crutch, mate.
Oh no.
Yeah, afraid so.
Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I'll link it if you people want to check it out.
Nice.
You might be doing one also at some point, potentially, Mason.
Oh, I have to travel.
You have to travel,
I
yeah.
like it.
But they also might be coming here at some point. There was
I
talk
won't
of
have to
that. You won't have to
travel. Oh, so good.
You probably have to travel to Sydney because I'd say it'd be more likely to be in Sydney. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. I'll take the train.
You okay with that?
Yeah, fine. Gotta. Whatever.
Dan?
Hey, here's an email. This is an email related to what we read and what we're going to read. This is from James Carey.
Yeah.
Can you guys comment on the Orville?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the first 3.
What did you think?
I like it. It's kind of like, it's not as funny as Galaxy Quest, but it definitely gets stronger
Okay.
as it goes. I've been waiting for something like this.
I've heard mixed things about this.
Yeah, no, it definitely starts average.
Okay.
And I wasn't super into it at all. But I I'm like, I'm going to stick with this because I want to like this. I need something like this. So, yeah, but no, it's the third episode in particular. It's not as funny as I would like it to be.
Well, see, a lot of people have
actually,
said
yeah.
that it's in this weird middle ground where it's not as proper sci-fi as a Star Trek, but it's also not as funny as a Galaxy Quest.
Right.
So it's sort of, does it feel like this is Seth
Oh, and
MacFarlane?
Joe Starr. I forgot him. Sorry, keep going.
Nice. Do you feel like it's Seth MacFarlane? Do you feel it's Seth MacFarlane loves Star Trek and he wants to make Star Trek, but also make it funny?
Yes, I think that's
Okay.
exactly what
but
it
he
is.
can't just make a science fiction Star Trek thing because people will be like, this is a bit out of left field for the
Yeah,
for the,
potentially.
for the Family Guy.
You know what? No, it's really to me, and I haven't seen a lot of the Next Generation, but it feels a lot just like the Next Generation with slightly more jokes. It's slightly edgier.
Okay.
but
There were a lot of jokes in Next Generation.
it's pretty
though.
much this.
There were no jokes.
No, it's the same in a lot of ways.
Occasionally, Data would go into the holodeck and dress up as a gangster, and that's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
It's
yeah,
very funny.
Did anybody ever dress up as a lady in the holodeck?
Probably Worf.
I
Imagine
bet
how
he
funny
did.
that would be.
Yeah, because they
Worf.
were the wrong clothes, and he was in a Victoria era,
He's got the
skirt.
weird forehead.
Yeah.
Worf.
Are you interested in the Orville?
Yeah, I'll watch a couple.
I think you should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I look. It's Fox also.
Yeah.
But it won't. It won't. I think it's something that, and I'm not a big proponent of this. If you stick with it, you might find it gets better. Or just start at episode 3.
Here's another email. Robert Rodriguez. I'm assuming the director.
What?
This is Ben Rodriguez underneath. What a son of a bitch. Have we seen Mother? What are our thoughts?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I don't want to see it.
Exactly. As soon as I saw the trailer for Mother and I heard it was coming out, I immediately just went to the Wikipedia page hoping there was a synopsis so I could read it and not watch it.
And there wasn't?
There wasn't one at the time, so
I did read the Wikipedia synopsis.
Uh-huh.
Sounds terrible.
yeah. I also if you go onto the vulture.com,
Yeah.
you can do a quiz to determine whether or not you would like Mother.
And what did it say for you?
You would not like Mother. So
Did it like give you films that it was similar to?
no, it was more like you meet a woman in the bar and she won't stop talking about Infinite Jest. What do? Leave straight away. It's one of those.
What's Infinite
It's
Jest?
a David Foster Wallace novel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like, but it's not the point.
You don't want to talk about it.
I
at
don't
length.
want to talk about it.
No, it's a lot of kind of because the whole thing's like a metaphor for like religion and creation and whatever, and I'm not interested in that at all. So
Okay, right. Does it have based on the Wikipedia synopsis, does it have a satisfying ending or
No.
an ambiguous ending that I would hate?
it's probably a little bit ambiguous, but in terms of if you're like, oh no, this is just like that thing in religion
Good.
and the world.
I'm
and
always
society,
thinking that.
then yeah, I guess it
I'm
does.
always pointing at things in real life and going, that's just like in that religion. That man was turned into a pillar of salt, just like in
the
that religion.
Yeah,
Wow. I'm a real Ricky Gervais.
you certainly are, Mason. You a vegetarian?
No.
No. You want to hear the most LA story I have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why have you been wasting time on this Kingsman review?
Right, so I've never been to LA or the US before. I liked a lot of it. I liked most of it.
Oh, no.
I should say.
This sounds like a James hates your country kind of story.
No, I just think stories about me meeting nice people is
No
not
good.
that
You're right.
interesting.
Those
I caught up
are
with
no good.
Sean, the guy who did the Batman Superman animation.
Yeah.
Great bloke.
John Willits, great
I caught
man.
up with some cool dudes over Andrea over from Loot Crate who
great.
it was awesome. We went out for dinner together. With her husband also. It wasn't just like a secret rendezvous, Mason.
Okay, right.
No, they were really
This
awesome.
wasn't your Joss Whedon scenario.
No,
this wasn't your
it wasn't.
your Josh. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Your Joss Whedon. It's your gimme.
That's it. But so I was getting in an Uber. I got in an Uber, to go to the airport because then I had to go to Vegas where a guy got glassed. That's another story. I'll tell that another time. But
One of your friends specifically, not just a
he
guy.
wasn't. It was in the group.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Did I tell you this?
Did you glass him?
I didn't glass anybody.
You're not directly one of my friends.
You didn't go to
glass.
school with me.
Glassed.
But so I got in the Uber and the guy's like, "I'm gonna do the accent."
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. But
When you say accent,
yeah.
do you mean American accent or Indian accent?
But the Indian accent, no, American.
Okay, great.
So he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" That's not good, is it?
No,
I'm sorry.
that's a very good vague American
And I'm
accent.
like, I'm good. I'm
We
fine.
got an email this week.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I'm from Wales, can you do a Welsh accent?
No.
No. No.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah, how are you? And
I
he's
can
like,
only do Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye, where he goes, "Buy me a paint." You know that bit? To Sean Bean. He's like, "Buy me a paint," which I assume is slightly Welsh. I assume when he screams, it's slightly Welsh.
Isn't he Irish?
I don't know. I thought Pierce Brosnan was Welsh.
I don't think he's Welsh.
I'm thinking of Christian Bale.
Yeah, or maybe Dalton. Is
Yeah,
Dalton Welsh?
I don't know. One of them's Welsh.
Bond wouldn't drink a pint.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Anyway.
But what do we got? So I'm like, yeah, good. How are you? And he's like, yeah, great, man, great. Like this week, awesome. Last week, not so much. And I'm like, why is that? And he goes, well, today, you'll never believe this, it's my 1 year anniversary. And then he pauses. So I go, congratulations. And then he's like, and then he goes, don't congratulate me yet. You don't even know what it's for. So I'm
yeah.
like, okay.
You don't know the ways
This
of banter with a cabbie, mate.
Yeah,
What
this
were you
is
thinking?
not going to end
He is
well.
Pierce Brosnan is Irish.
He's Irish. Okay, there you go. And I go, okay, what's your anniversary? And he goes, today's my 1 year anniversary of being a vegan. And I'm like, oh, fuck,
Wow.
no. This is a 50-minute trip.
Yeah.
So then he's proceeded to spend 50 minutes telling me about the perils of eating meat. I just straight away, I'm like, I'm vegetarian. I'm not vegetarian, but I don't want to lecture. I know eating meat is not good for the environment and probably your body. I'm very much aware of that, but I don't need a lecture. And
Wait, okay, okay, continue.
he's still on Brosnan.
I'm still thinking about it. I'll get to it in a second.
And the conversation culminated in he was like, don't you reckon they should take all the money out of like nuclear war and war in general and put it into education? And I'm like, well, yeah, probably. Like, but that's not a startling revelation. You know what I mean?
That's
And
true,
also,
yeah.
there's a lot of steps in between those two things to make that
Yeah.
happen. It's
But
not just a matter of distributing funds to there's a.
But also, what I like about this particular interaction is that one of the cliches about a vegan is, hey, how do you know somebody's a vegan?
They'll immediately,
they'll
yeah.
tell you, and you go, hey, man, vegans literally harm no one, and nothing.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. They're good people.
I know vegans that are
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
But then he's just that guy. all of
God,
a
he
sudden.
really got me.
Yeah.
Like,
He's-
what do you
he's-
do though? What do you do?
Oh, you leap out.
I can't. How? I need to get to the airport. Am I gonna risk my amazing Uber rating? I don't think so, Mason.
All right.
Actually, I don't really care. I don't even know what my rating is. Anyway, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Famous Welsh celebrities.
Here we go. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Christian Bale.
Richard Burton, Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, Welsh.
That's what it says here.
No way.
That's what it says here. Anyway, pick one, and I'll do an impression using them as the basis.
What are my options?
Anthony Hopkins.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, do that one.
Okay, right.
Oh no, he's doing the stretchy thing from Entrapment where he's going under the lasers.
And then I'm out. I reach the lasers. I'm going past the lasers. Ban me a pen. It's Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Very good.
Remember when he says that in the movie?
I don't remember.
He does. They're in the.
I'm not saying he doesn't. Didn't happen. I'm saying I don't remember.
I know, but
it.
they're in the facility right at the start.
Right.
They're defusing a bomb
It's
or whatever.
before one of them gets captured
Before-
or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Ban me a pen.
I bet it sounds nothing like
I bet
that.
it sounds nothing like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can quickly pull it up on YouTube.
If you can YouTube GoldenEye, buy me a pint.
All right, here we bloody go. It's not gonna be here.
Or maybe it's the most viewed video on YouTube. It goes, Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye, buy me a pint, then Gangnam Style.
Can you tell me specifically when it is in this? Like,
no.
is it? Do they part ways? Is it just before Trevelyan gets captured?
Yeah, it would be just, yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm not doing this
No,
now.
that's all right.
I'll- but everybody should, if you're at home,
Tweet at us.
no, tweet at Mason.
Okay, good. I'll take it.
I'll figure it out. Also, I saw Hamilton. It's great.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Are you going to write some sort of rap after this?
Yes. You ready?
Yeah.
I've actually already written it.
I'm ready.
No, I'm not doing
You can do it to the letters theme. How about that?
it. Sure.
All right, here we go. It's loading.
Yeah.
James is going to do his rap.
Buy me a pen.
We love you so much.
Nice.
That is going to be the impression of everything from now on.
Here right now, we're gonna do letters.
Buy me a pint. You got some letters, Mason?
I'll find a letter, don't you worry
This
about
is
that.
such a shit episode.
No.
What do you got? What's up? What are we doing?
This is from Diego Reveal.
Cool, yep,
I've
got it.
massacred that. He's from Mexico City, and as
Yeah.
you might know, a couple of days ago, there was an earthquake.
Yeah,
in
big
Mexico.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been also, you know what? Shout outs to everybody in the world who's suffered a incredible disaster
Yeah.
in the last week or so. Hurricanes, earthquakes. Some people like to
Uber
watch
drivers.
Kingsman too. But seriously.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Best wishes, man.
After the earthquake, electricity was gone. Cell phones were useless, so he couldn't contact his family or friends. There was the radio, but everything on the radio was terrible.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he had 3 or 4 episodes of the podcast, and he listened to it, and he stayed calm while he waited for some good news.
Did the good news arrive?
I think he's fine now.
Okay, good. Oh, man, that is
His family's
full on.
safe. And
Thank God.
and then so shout outs to anybody experiencing a disaster out there, and I'm sorry you didn't have more and better entertainment preloaded on your devices.
That's right. Like Family Guy.
Like Family Guy, maybe.
Like American Dad. I watched some of that on the plane. It's not great.
American Dad.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, exactly.
I've got a tweet here, Mason, from Dakota Cootie.
I'm ready.
Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. That's how you reach the show via Twitter. Or you can send Mason an email at weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
That's the one.
Could we ever see Hercules join the MCU? Maybe in a future Thor movie. So Hercules is a character that exists across multiple mediums.
That's right, yeah.
And things. And he's a Marvel character also. He's just a big guy
That's
with a
true.
beard.
Yeah.
He also kills Robot Thor in Civil War, the comic.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would love to see him in a movie.
but do you think...
Do you think he's too generic?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I think he's sort of he's the most, the Marvel's Hercules is the most joyful one, I think.
Okay, right.
And I think he
so
would,
he's fun Hercules.
yeah, and I think he would, and of course, obviously, you have to factor in that Kevin Sorbo
Sure, yes.
and his incredible acting and great line reading.
He's great, isn't he? He's one of the best.
Incredible. But I think he would work. I think Hercules would work as like an even more ridiculous foil to Thor.
Right, right.
Like you put him in a Thor movie, and
So he's like how Thor used to be when he came to Earth. but,
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
it really turned up to above 10,
Exactly.
an 11, perhaps.
yeah,
Or a 150.
15 out of 10.
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
I think that'd be really good.
Yeah, no, I'd be up for that. So you'd have to obviously differentiate him. You couldn't just do Hercules, like standard Hercules, because we've seen so
I
many
think you
versions.
could.
But you play it, so you play it like super serious and
Yeah.
what do you mean?
I don't know. I think maybe have him really. I think you have him as a guy that Thor knows and hates
Yeah.
because he's too much, and you sort of foreshadow him as this guy that Thor cannot stand because he's too annoying, and then he shows up and he's just again Thor to 15.
I like that actually. Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, and then they have to team up.
They have to team
And
up?
it's party time.
Ah, big time.
Party time, big time.
Do you think though can you go from sidekick Hulk to sidekick a guy who's just a bit like Thor?
That's a good question.
Anything can work, Mason.
I think anything can work. I think you're right. Yeah.
but not this. No, it could.
Yeah.
This is from Barnaby Jones. Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod.
Not
Did you ever-
Barnaby Joyce,
No.
Deputy Prime Minister of Australia.
Not that dickhead. Did you guys ever read the Animorphs books? And how would you feel about a college-age reboot that was brutally violent and bloody? Did you ever read the Animorphs books?
No.
Did you ever see the TV series?
No.
I did. I remember quite liking it. Had a lot of morphing. Had a lot of like a boy turns into a wolf.
Was it good morphing though?
Oh, no. Definitely not.
great.
But I remember it being an okay show.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of that Secret World of Alex Mack kind of level of, what's that, of special effects.
Terrific.
Were you into that show?
Yes.
Very good.
Well, I wasn't into it, but I've seen it.
Wow.
I'm not opposed to the concept of animals. It was just
Nobody's saying you're opposed to anything, Mason. You're jumping to conclusions, so you need to calm down for once in your bloody
I'm feeling
life.
trapped like an animal here with all these accusations flying about. I just didn't see it. All right. It was. I was too old for it, probably.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So but what do you think? Okay, so this show that you didn't see that you're not for or against, what do you think of a college-age reboot of Animorphs, but it's bloody and violent, which means the wolf boy could tear somebody apart? Is it too close to like
Rangers.
Twilight? Or,
Power
and
Rangers reboots.
yeah. Because people are turning into wolves in Twilight.
Uh-huh.
And that Power Rangers is kind of a gritty reboot, but this is R-rated, Mason.
Oh, hello.
So...
who would watch it?
Well, that's the question. I think if they were going to reboot it, they'd probably have to do it closer to the original, right?
Yeah.
So then,
I think it absolutely works it would work as a short film, like that Power Rangers James Vanderbeek
right,
reboot
yep.
situation, which I thought was great,
Yeah.
but I don't think it would work as a full film.
Okay, fair enough.
Or it would.
Wow.
There's no bad ideas
We're
in
crossing-
Hollywood. There's no bad ideas in Hollywood, as you know.
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
Just so we're clear, that is not something I agree with.
Okay.
That's at the show?
I think it's the show.
Thank Christ. All right. Let's wrap it up, Mason.
Let's wrap it. All right. Let's see. We're Weekly Planet Pod on Facebook and Gmail and Twitter and Bandcamp.
Yep.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Oh, Mr. Sunday Movies.
Oh, Mr. Yawny Movies.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Sunday Sleep In.
Yeah.
Mr. Weird sleepy cap on your head going off to Dreamland, man.
Got a little candle on a little...
Yeah. Gonna
What's that
snuff
thing
that out
called?
before your bed. Candle holder.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Why can't you just hold a candle? Is it because of the wax? Probably because of the wax.
Probably the wax, yeah.
You can get candles now that are waxless, though they're not wax. They're obviously made of wax because they're candles.
Yeah.
But the wax evaporates, so you don't
What?
get the wax running
You
down.
just get the wax in your nostrils.
Well, that's also how like a candle in a jar works, doesn't it? Because if you've got a candle in a jar, where does the wax run off to?
Space.
Good gravy. Anyway, keep going. I don't know where you're at in your spiel.
Let's
but
see.
pick
If
up
you want
where
to support
left
the
off.
show, you want to chuck in a buck, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. We're thinking about, because we read some letters from the letters,
Yes.
the letters box every week, that we might do some Patreon bonuses where every week we just burn through the mailbag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we spend 20, 30 minutes, we just
Get everything.
get everything
or
out
as
of
much
the way.
as or at least as much as we
If
can.
anybody would be
yeah.
interested in that, let
Yeah,
us
let
know.
us
Or any
know,
other
yeah.
sort of Patreon bonus content you'd
Yeah.
like to see that we don't have the time for on the regular episode.
Right, yeah.
We'll do it on a bonus app.
Because often I'll post like the caravan of garbage early,
Yeah.
but this would be something that for people who want that, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. People that don't want that,
That's fine. Also,
that's fine. Don't have to take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can also go to the Amazon affiliate link in our episode description. Just click on there.
Yep.
You're gonna buy Kingsman on DVD to get the bad taste of Kingsman 2 out of your mouth. I know I do. Tell you that for nothing.
Yeah.
Tell you what. Let's see. We got some teas on tpublic.com.
Yep.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our themes. Thank you to everybody who is listening
Yeah.
and subscribing and telling a friend.
Yeah.
We've decided we're going to have a big old push, see how many new listeners we can get.
Yeah, I think telling a friend is the best way to get the message across. You know what might be a good idea?
Yes.
Take like a clip of the show that's probably from my YouTube channel and just if you send it to somebody.
Put it on your Facebook
Yeah,
or
and if that's as
direct
opposed to
message
being
it
like
to your crush on Facebook.
yeah,
Hey.
don't.
No, don't ever do that. Yeah.
But no, I think that'd be a good entry point, I guess. If you, because I think sending somebody a whole podcast is a big commitment.
Really
To
is,
be like,
yeah.
hey, just here's a short clip.
I get a lot of podcast recommendations from friends, and I'm like, I'll definitely check that out. Look, I'm even downloading an episode right now. When do I listen
I'd
to it?
love to listen to Quantum Leap, the episode by episode recap series. I bet that exists.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, is that everything?
Just about, I think.
Okay, good. They
So
should.
if you want to go to planetbcasting.com,
Yep, a whole lot of shows there
all sorts of shows and all sorts of newsletters.
and shows.
One newsletter.
Yeah, that's one news. Yeah, Raw Collings does it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a special surprise for you, Mason, for the end of this episode.
Okay.
God damn it! It was a remix. I
What is
found it. I found "Buy Me a Pint,"
Oh,
but somebody
what?
had put a track over the top of it.
Oh, wow.
I think I heard "Shake That Ass." Why is that in? God damn it! That would have been a stellar ending to this episode.
Internet ruins everything.
Thanks a lot, internet.
James, it's okay because I was also looking.
Were you really?
I didn't go on YouTube, but I went on Vimeo.
Yeah.
It's right there. I'll just play it now.
Go.
Buy me a pen.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna find this.
Okay, you do it. We got time.
I think I've got it.
Okay.
This is a good movie, probably.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
It's good. I remember it being good.
Hurry up.
Buy me a pint.
That sounds nothing like
No, that's
your
dead on. No,
impression.
that's dead on. That's dead on.
Very good. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.